To this day, I'm glad I found that version of the song that's not copyrighted. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's been a hot minute, and by a hot minute, I mean a couple of months. And there are reasons for that. But we are here now, and we are ready to crack on with basically the next half of the campaign. In but a moment, I will be unmuting, and I will be reintroducing you. And if you're here for the first time, introducing, and if you're here, have you been here before? Reintroducing you to the cast of Power Rangers CyberStrike. So, without further ado, let us get into it. Hello, everyone. We are live, and we are here.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Since it's been a minute, but we're back. Life really does like to throw curveballs at you once in a while. But yes. So, reintroducing the cast. Starting from the top, we have Chocolate Zombie playing the role of CyberStrike Red, Marika Hammond. Choco? Oh, I think Choco broke.
Yeah, no, Choco's dead.
Yeah. Cryptic, I can hear you eating through your mic, by the way.
Sorry, I'll turn on push to talk.
Had my mic plugged into the wrong spot.
Ah, that's fine. Yes. So we have Chocolate Zombie playing the role of CyberStrike Red, Captain Marika Hammond. Playing the role of Arrow, the Yellow CyberStrike Ranger, we have Cryptic Sergeant.
The voices are back again. I thought they were gone.
Playing the role of Nova, the Blue CyberStrike Ranger, we have the Luna 13.
That's what you get for... I told you to keep taking the medicine.
Playing the role of CyberStrike Green, we have... CyberStrike Green Scott, we have the internet's Mr. Hardluck.
I don't have anything funny to say.
No, that's fine. Playing the role of CyberStrike Phantom Black and our resident Catman, Dwayne Caruso, we have Rosso06.
Meow.
And rounding out the team of resident murder bot that seems to hold a plasma cannon. Playing the role of Orchid, the Proto Ranger, we have the Dynamo Tom.
Beep boop.
And of course, I am Twitch the Person. I am your resident Game Master, Dungeon Master, Grid Master, whatever you would like to call me for this Essence 20 campaign. So, like I said, I know it's... Oh, go ahead.
You are, in fact, a master of the grid.
I am a master of the grid, yes. I think it's just apt. So, like I said, it has been a while. I think the last time we did a session was sometime in November when we took a hiatus for the holidays. And then making the plans to come back to the holidays, I decided, well, I'm going to apply for a new job. Thinking it would take a couple of months. It didn't. They got back to me within a week, and then I ended up doing a hell of a lot of courses. But yeah, that's that. That's what's been going on. That's one of the primary reasons. It's been there hasn't been a session, but like you said, real life comes at you real fast. But we are here now, and we will be getting into the next arc of this campaign. So let me get some music playing. I believe it. Let's try that one. That's a bit too epic for what I need. Let's try that. There we go. So, when we last left the Rangers, we had just finished the battle for planet Calvis, a planet that is that is on the front line of the galactic war between Dark Spectre's forces and the forces of the United Planets, the Alliance. A lot of things happened during this part of the campaign in the Alliance's quest to establish a frontline sky trench, is what they were calling it. A chain of force fields interlinked with Smilodian technology and Alliance satellites, so that they're able to make a defensive line to stop Dark Spectre's forces from advancing any further into the galaxy, to any points that the Alliance hold. During this time, on the planet, the Rangers were sent with two specific goals. Find out any information they could, but also find a secret SPD base, retrieve the information, and return it to Commander Kruger. However, the Rangers were left with a lot more questions than they were answers. Because upon making planetfall, they ran into the Gold Ranger of Triforia. However, it was not Trey of Triforia beneath the helmet, but an Eltarian Guardian by the name of Zora, who had received the powers via a transfer after something had happened to Trey of Triforia, split him into 3 separate beings. The Rangers, completing their mission, did in fact find the SPD hidden base, but there was not much information there to gain back, other than the fact that it appeared that the forces at Kelvis base who knew about the SPD facility were using it as a go-between to funnel supplies as discreetly as they could. As of course it was an SPD black site and they weren't allowed, it wasn't privy knowledge to people not of that rank. When it came to the full-scale invasion, the Machine Empire and Darkonda's forces descended upon planet Kelvis. The Rangers, making their way to the front of Kelvis base, provided enough of a distraction for strike teams to enter via the secret tunnel that connects both the black site and the Kelvis base to free inside. During that confrontation at the front of Kelvis base, Dark Spectre's forces played their new hand, or should I say the coalition of Darkonda and the Machine Empire played their new hand by revealing the Psycho Rangers. These Psycho Rangers were not like Trey, or at least 4 of them were not like Trey. These Psycho Rangers, Psycho Red, Psycho Blue, Psycho Black, and Psycho Yellow, were actually the stolen Alpha Sentinel units, much like Orchid. To the shock and surprise of not only Orchid, but also Professor Daxia. What was even more shocking was that Psycho Pink was a cybernetically enhanced or cybernetically augmented individual by the name of Cassix, who actually worked on the Alpha Sentinel program. Defeating the Psycho Rangers, making them retreat, allowed the Rangers... Oh, sorry, that was my phone. Allowed the Rangers enough time to get their bearings about them until Psycho Green Trek seemingly lost control of all his faculties and transformed and morphed into a gigantic flaming being that then was trying to go after a large chunk of this anti-grid mineral that the Rangers had been tracking for the last 2 months. It was at this point that the Rangers were unable to summon the Megazord due to the shielding that was around the planet. This, however, was remedied by the appearance of the CyberStrike Flashman, an early blueprint that was designed by Nova to work as an augment Zord for the Astro Rangers. Unbeknownst to Nova, his uncle, who was present on the planet, had been working on it in secret. However, according to him, it was never finished. Upon defeating Trek, the Alliance was able to push back all of the forces, liberating planet Kelvis, and that is where we now find our team. After a very interesting talk between the commanders, Professor Daxian, and the Rangers themselves, which got interrupted by the Morphin Masters, revealing some sort of answers to the origin of Orchid, but also leaving a couple more questions to be asked as well, especially seeing as that right when they thought they couldn't learn anything new, the appearance of Andros and Zane, the red and silver Astro Rangers, appeared. And we pick up from there. I know it was a bit of a lot. That was a bit of a long-winded recap, but it was needed. So, it's been about, I'd say, a day since Andros and Zane made themselves known. You guys were already at the end of a debriefing, so it was decided that before Andros and Zane revealed any information that they had pertaining to what you had found, it was decided that it was prudent to get Kelvis base back in order as much as they can, and also allowing you guys to rest and recuperate, as well as checking making sure that Orchid is okay, as Orchid passed out at the last or passed out / shut down at the end of the last session. So, what are you all doing currently? Are you all together, or are you currently split up in various parts of the base?
I'd say we were all together, but this could make it easier.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Works for me.
Yeah.
So,
I'll let you know of my state.
Yeah, I'll probably be with you.
You know, I'm still out cold.
That's probably where we would be then, like all around Orchid, like just monitoring her.
So, you're in the medical bay of the Gamma, as it is better equipped for Orchid's needs. There are Kelvis-based personnel flittering in and out as well. Orchid, you are in a state of the equivalent of unconsciousness. Yourself. Everything reads as normal for Orchid, but for whatever reason, there doesn't seem to be any true response.
So would you say it would be similar to how like Dwayne was on Smilodia?
Yeah, kind of similar. Any of you could say anything, or... Because the revelation was that the Pink Morphin Master had a hand in how Orchid came to be, but they didn't really elaborate on that before they vanished.
Can't believe Orchid was Miracle Baby.
I mean, with what we're going through, can anyone really be surprised?
I mean, the grid just kind of continues to both confound me, but also gain my faith, if that's something.
There's a Daxian who's over by one of the screens. I have spent my life studying the mysteries of the grid, and yet I think I have only come to understand a very small percentage, if that. Although it does make me wonder if the Alpha Sentinel project was something that could have come to fruition at my own hands without the interference of a greater power. I've said multiple times that Orchid's programming is a lot different to what my baseline project was. Certainly now, with this new revelation that the others have been dug up from where they were, can't help but wonder if the whole project was a folly from the start.
To that, I say, you got us, or you got our powers working. I have no doubt you would have gotten that one working regardless if it was being helped or not.
Plus, isn't science about learning how to do something wrong a million times before you do it right?
Not to mention also the fact that, with my particular experience, timelines, it was meant to be.
Perhaps.
At least in this timeline, and at least in this universe, anyway.
That's still the thing that's surprising to me.
Oh, you mustn't get me wrong. I'm fully aware that working with the grid borders on the fantastical and the scientific. And the scientific. And I am happy that Orchid is here. I just wish I understood more. But such is the curse of one who seeks knowledge. Yes, at this point, he's you can see on the screens around on the screens. It's all the vitals and stuff that you normally see when Orchid is morphed or demorphed. But yeah, as you said, she's still unresponsive. Still, we will learn more as time goes on, and I hope, well, we won't have to deal with the others for the time being. We will be better prepared. If you'll excuse me, Rangers, I must update the commander on our current situation.
Speaking about that, Daxian, just a quick word before you go.
He looks over to you.
There is still that little project that I'm kind of working on. Would it be wise to modify that a little bit for those particular situations?
Remind me again what that was.
He did the EMP research, so it's essentially the equivalent of like the EMP grenade.
Yeah.
That he had been working on. So he was like, yeah, it was working for Cogs, but it's like, could we do that for like the Psycho Rangers? Is essentially what he's asking.
It's an interesting proposal, Dwayne. Of course, I'm not sure how much different they are now that they've been empowered. Corrupted power, nonetheless, but power. It's certainly worth looking into.
Appreciate it.
I'll be back as soon as I can. I believe the Astro Rangers are stationed over in the other side of the hangar. I believe it'd be prudent if we catch up like that, if we catch up and get their debrief as soon as possible. I believe Commander Kruger will notify us after this meeting, but until then, if anyone needs any help, then if you wish, you can make yourselves available. He stands up and he takes one last look at Orchid. Like that, like he's, and you can see the concern on his face quite visibly before he wanders out and makes his way towards, makes his way in the direction of the exit for the Gamma. And as like the doors open, so like you see Pungus walking past with like a box in his hand. Just doing menial tasks.
Yeah, that's another surprise in that as well. Didn't think we'd be the ones that would be running into the Astral Rangers.
Hoped we would. They're my friends after all.
Yeah, you and your cool brothers.
I mean, I wasn't a part of their I was a part of their friend group. My sister was more of a friend to them than I was, honestly. Like, I'm just surprised that they're still here.
Anything that we can come to expect from them?
Andros is the calmer of the two, I can tell you that. Although he's not one to turn down a good prank from time to time. Zane is, well, you'll see. Like, because in character, like, he knows that it is Andros and Zane, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's 100%. It was Andros and Zane. They were the two that they were the two that made themselves known. They came down Planet Ball in like a small drop, like a little drop ship. But the rest of the Astro Rangers are also there.
In a way, I made the Flashman for them. The way it was originally designed to be basically an add-on to the Astro Mega ship, so that might actually happen now. Huh.
Well, I mean, considering that like our ship is supposed to be like a prototype of their Astro Mega ship, it kind of all fits in a similar technological sense.
Yeah, like when he says that, he says, "Huh?" Like you see Nova just go into deep thought, like, "Wow, everything I worked for 3 years actually might happen."
Basically, it's all compatible and, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I suppose we better, I don't know, introduce ourselves a bit more properly to the rest of them. Unless there's anything that you guys think that we can do for Orchid right now, because I'm a bit stumped.
if that's the case. You guys.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting. I was kind of waiting for everyone else to kind of like, like, what do they decide?
If that's the general consensus, then you can make your way out of the medical room, passing some of the Kelvis staff. There's some medical, some science individuals, because they're not really sure how to go about this with Orchid at the moment. It's completely new territory for these individuals, which is why Daxton's been very hands-on with it. Orchid, you are currently in a liminal space, sort of like a void. Around you, you can see flashes of energy and pictures of the early stages of your creation. What is going through your mind right now?
A lot. A lot. Many things. If there was a fan in my brain, it'd be on 100%. How aware am I in this void?
You are completely
do
aware.
I have full sense of self? Am I just in total darkness except for the light and stuff, and I have no corporeal type form?
No, you are corporeal form. You are in your unmorphed form. You're in this void. You've been walking around. You said you've had all these. You got these images coming through. There's images of when Oren and Kasich, and I forget the other fella. I forget what I called him because I'm smart. Is it in that one?
Toluca. Toluca was the good one.
Notable NPC. Nope, that's for...
I still thought Kasich was a good one.
Oh. Kasich was the...
now I know Kasich wasn't, and you know what? That's probably what I'm gonna be hung up on.
Yeah. So you get these flashes of Professor Oren, Professor and the assistants, Kasich and Toluca. You're trying to process all these feelings and everything as you've been walking, and you also now see flashes of the recent battle. Your Alpha Sentinel brothers and sister having seemingly been corrupted from their primary function. And the fact that you thought you were the only one that survived. The images of Cardinal, Scarab, Hornet, and Widow, kind of like half their Alpha Sentinel form and what they're supposed to be, and then like the other side is the form of their Psycho Ranger armor.
I imagine they still have the corrupted grid aura around.
You still, you can't really sense it, but you still see that. On the one half, you see what it is, and then from looking at your comrades, looking at the other side, the other side of the image, you see the non-corrupted side is what it's supposed to look like.
Are they there statuesque, or are they okay?
Yeah, it's like very statuesque looking.
Do I see any memories that I don't remember?
Give me an alertness check. Alertness perception.
Because after the Alpha Sentinel archive we uncovered of footage that I don't remember, I would probably be checking. So, which alertness did you want? Perception?
Alertness perception, yeah.
Grid sensitivity?
No grid sensitivity. No grid sensitivity.
No.
You can see around you, in amongst the memories that are quite clear, you see fragmented images and pictures, almost like they've got white static over some of them. Some of them are more put together than others. There's ones where you see Kasich and Tiluka, speaking with Professor Oren, and you can see the other Alpha Sentinels in the background. They've been activated, and it looks as almost like you're all kind of like in the early stages of learning. There's others where you're all on like target ranges. There's some where Kasich is speaking to you to you all like separately, but it's kind of staticky. And there's some where Tiluka is doing stuff similarly. But that's all you can make out currently.
How do I look?
In the memories?
Well, no, I mean, like, looking at me, like, looking down at my hands and stuff, because how I currently look doesn't look like how I would have looked.
So you look like your current self.
Okay.
You yourself look like your current self. But you are well aware that in the memories, you can see yourself as the very stripped back version of what the Alpha Sentinels were meant to
how
be.
I originally was.
Yes.
Before. Yeah.
Before
okay.
what happened.
Before what happened that I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then I did. Yeah.
As you're looking through all these memories, all of a sudden you hear a voice just from up above you. Curious things, memories, are they not? You try to locate the source of the voice?
I do. I start looking around, kind of shocked.
You start looking around yourself like that, and as you turn back to look at things, you see the pink morphing master.
I did not think we would meet again so soon.
Well,
yes.
We are intrinsically linked, Orchid. All of the morphing masters are intrinsically linked to their color of the spectrum. It was not my intention to make you fall into this state.
I do not think you alone are the reason why I'm here. I kind of take a step back and
I take a step back and like the image of Kasich in the memory is like more visible to the emissary.
Yeah. Well, the morphing master, not the emissary. The emissaries are different.
Yeah. Morphing master.
Yes. Young Dr. Kasich. A shame she has been corrupted the way she has. Such a bright young girl. Tell me, Orchid,
It seems. Yes.
that how much do you remember before you were reactivated?
You can see what I can remember. I remember the beginning. I remember waking up. I remember seeing my Baxia and the hope in his eyes as he looked over us and the potential we had. Even if I didn't understand what that meant at the time.
I can see the images in front of me, yes, but are these the images that are in your system, or have you chosen to lock them away yourself?
I don't know. I was revealed that there was this Alfie we recovered, and it contained footage of something I was there, but I have no memory of it.
Yes.
And I have tried and tried to remember it. I have tried to find any trace of it, and I get static. So I don't know.
Yes, the remains of the Alpha 5 unit that was at the black site. I'm aware that was an Alpha unit that was helping Professor Oren.
Do you know of our entire journey?
The Morphing Masters have observed Professor Daxian's life's work ever since he first became infatuated with the grid. Of course, we all naturally assumed, being one of the crown princes of Edenoi, he would become the masked rider. However, he gave up his throne to his younger brother, and so forth. The power was then handed to Dex. At first, some of the masters were against the idea of granting the powers of the grid to what at the time we compared to giving the powers of the grid to members of the Machine Empire. However, myself, the Green Morphing Master, and the Black Morphing Master argued that Prince Daxian, or Professor Daxian, was of a kinder heart. And so we tipped the scale in his direction. And of course, then, with the help of the emissaries, it was a pursuit worth pursuing. Of course, then, Professor Daxian hit the wall, and the project was abandoned, as you know. I was advised against sticking my nose in the rest of it, as I believe a lot of mortal individuals call it. However, I saw greater potential. Of course, after the black site was destroyed, you were the only unit that was left there by the time we had consolidated an agreement. And I ignored that agreement. your activation, me giving you your purpose, Orchid, was simply that. I have had no hand in your decision and your choices going forward. However,
like purpose?
yes, your purpose. Tell me, Orchid, if you did not have your connection to the grid, what would you be doing?
If I did not have my connection to the grid, I would be doing what I was programmed to do. And I probably would not have questioned a thing. But now, I don't know.
What you were programmed to do. Are you sure? And as she asks this question, she kind of like swipes her hand and brings like another image up in front of you. And in this image, you're speaking to Professor Oren. Not just you, but the rest of the Alpha Sentinel units. Hornet, the yellow Alpha Sentinel. She kind of looks over like that and was a bit, and with a voice that doesn't seem all robotic at all. Like the voice modulator that she got, it said it was far more human. She leans over to Professor Aura and goes, "So where is Professor Daxian?" And at this point, in the image, you see all the heads kind of like turn to her and then turn back to Professor Oren, and he lets out a very long, like, heavy sigh. My companion, Professor Daxian, was told he no longer needed to pursue them. We both disagreed, of course, but Professor Daxian's expertise in his field were invaluable to the Alliance. As such, he was persuaded to pursue another endeavor in arming a new team of Power Rangers, much like what he was already planning to do with all of you. I still found that we were close to a breakthrough. So, against the orders of the Alliance, I brought you all here. And this is where we have been working in secret since. And then all of a sudden, the image of you, Orchid, in the image, again in a completely different voice, one that doesn't sound robotic or damaged at all, speaks up, says, "So, we are to be Power Rangers, I believe you called us?" So at this point, Professor Oren just lets out a chuckle and says, "No, dear Orchid, not anymore. However, I do believe you could still function as a unique strike force for the Alliance. I am not as well versed in matters of the Morphin Grid as Professor Daxian, and I doubt I ever will be. But with the help of Deluca and Kasich, I believe that you can be trained to simulate some of the best of SPD. Maybe even best Commander Kruger himself in battle. But that all remains to be seen. And then the image just kind of fades, and the pink morphing master's standing behind it, looking directly at you, Orchid. Do you remember that at all?
No. What?
I look down to my hands.
I am not sure myself what my interference has done. But do you notice anything different about where you are currently?
I look around. Am I still just in liminal void?
Yep. Specifically, take a look at the statues of the other Psycho Rangers. Pink Morph Master comes up behind you as usual. That. Do you feel anything from those statues?
There's like unnoticeable like flinch, like pain.
Yes, and I can't quite describe it.
Well, okay, that's interesting considering nothing in this space has any reading. What you see is a perception of your memories. What you see is what you think the aura surrounding someone of the grid is. Orchid, my dear, we're inside your own mind. The pain you feel is stimulated by just that. Pain that you are suppressing. So at this point,
I turn to face the morphing master.
Suppressing.
Orchid, you have subconsciously blocked some memory. Why this has happened, I do not know, but it has happened. And I believe the overload of information between the Psycho Rangers and myself, presenting you with the fact that I had a hand in bringing you back and setting you on this path, well, it would be far too much for any normal individual. Oh. Awkward. At this point, the entire void around you kind of like bursts into like a cosmic scene. As the Morphing Master kind of like points, and there's like this hallway of images that has been created. And we'll fade away from that for a moment to rejoin the rest of the team in the real world. While all that was happening, not much time in the real world has passed at all, as you Rangers, I've realized I haven't changed the scene at all. Hello. We've been on the slideshow for the first hour of the game. My bad.
That's alright, it was theater of the mind anyway.
Yeah, theater of the mind. You are now on your way to the Astro Megaship, where the Astro Ranger team, the Astro Rangers are. Marika, Arrow, and Dwayne. No, not Dwayne. No, yeah, just Marika and Arrow. Why did I write Dwayne in my notes? What's that up? Marika and Arrow, you've heard stories about the Astro Rangers and what it is they are, what it is they've done, and everything else of that like. But this would be your first time meeting them in person. Yeah, go ahead.
I think wouldn't Scott and Dwayne have heard something from considering SPD?
Yeah, you would have. That's why I was confused why I put you down.
Or would it just be more? Would it just be more reports than stories?
Reports and stories, which is why I don't know. Again, which is why I just wrote your name down in the wrong part of my notes.
Meanwhile, Nova's just looking at the ship. Like if anyone looks at him, you see he's in he's in awe of this ship, because this was his dream ship to work on when he was trying to get into the program in general.
Yeah, the five of you disembarked from the Gamma, and as you went across the vastness of the hangar now, where it's a lot of the hangar seems to be like, it's not as cluttered as it once was during the battle. Like that, you can still see the scorch marks and like that, the debris, but it's all been cleared out. You see a lot of like other ships that have brought in, even like the it looks like a hangar now rather than like a makeshift area of like a makeshift barrack, like as it was. You got other small drop ships in here. The two biggest ships being the Astro and the Gamma. And if you taking a look at the Astro Megaship, it looks like a far more fleshed out version of the Gamma. However, the Gamma looks like a far sleeker version of the Astro Megaship.
Nova just looks over to the rest of the team. Captain, boys, no disrespect to our ship, but this one's a beauty.
I mean, it is the finished product. I mean, what do you expect?
Oh, it is that
side-by-side comparisons can...
She is everything that KO-35 was striving for with the Gamma. The pride of our entire planet.
That she is. You hear coming up behind you guys is Maxis, who's pretty much like now main crew chief here in the hangar. He's like the hangar chief, doing everything he can to like help. He's getting all the spare parts out of there and everything like that. But he's a little banged up currently, and could use a tune-up and some repairs, but I'm able to do what I can on it for the time being. And it's good to know that she still flies. She's still out there. I almost lost hope when we lost contact with them all.
You and me both.
They didn't say what happened, did they?
That's actually what I was wondering.
Who knows, maybe their black box will tell us something.
And he turns around to all looking all like that. And what about the Gamma? How's she holding up?
You'd be proud, Uncle. She's doing just fine.
Never thought I'd see that bucket of bolts again. Truly.
She's a testament to to your design. She certainly has lived up to our needs.
She's not my design, lad. She was that. I only build them. At one point, we were supposed to have a bunch of these.
Well, now we got two of them.
Maybe.
Well, don't let me keep you. I had the feeling that you might want to talk to your friends there. Over.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
I suppose I'll also be seeing you in the debriefing room soon. Commander Kruger wants to know how a unfinished Zord has managed to manifest itself here on planet Kelvis of all prisons, and honestly, I would like to find out as well.
That's fair. Like,
Actually, that kind of reminds me of something. And Dwayne's gonna tap on and communicate. Sigil, you there?
One second. I have to find all my voice modulators. There they are. Yes, Phantom Black.
Do you remember when I asked about you to like be on the lookout for any weird chronological events?
Yes.
Yeah, there didn't happen to have been any that was happening recently, have there?
Not that my scans can indicate that.
Okay. Keep a lookout. And just kind of wondered.
Of course. The only readouts that we have had has been the massive surge of grid energy due to the conflict. Other than that, that's been nothing.
Understood. Thanks for the info. Well, we can certainly rule out any kind of time travel.
that would just raise further questions there, Dwayne.
Well, we'll find out a logical answer for it. You know, other than just the grid, you know.
Do you make your way onto the Astro Megaship?
Oh yeah, I was thinking
Yes.
like this was happening as we were talking, as we were going up the ramp or something for it.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as you make your way in, you hear very a female sounding voice. Welcome, the Astro Megaship, CyberStrike Ranger. Would you like me to call the rest of the crew?
Yes, please. Is there a particular good place for us to meet with them?
I believe the main deck would be one of the best. I will send notice to Andros.
Good. Hopefully, hopefully it's got the same layout as our ship.
Yeah, as she says, the voice says that. You hear a voice come up behind you. I need to make sure I've got my characters right now. Yeah, so as that happens, you hear a voice just behind you like that. No need, Decker. I'll take them there. And you turn around and you see Zane making his way up the ramp in his Astro Megaship outfit. You know the one. It's there. It's the black one with the silver across it.
As I live and breathe. How you doing?
It's good to see you as well, Nova.
He gives him a handshake.
Marika just turns to Nova. Getting the silver carpet treatment already, huh?
This must be your team.
It is. Everyone? Zane. Astro Silver.
Rika gives him a salute.
He kind of gives you like a nonchalant one back, and he runs his eyes over Arrow, nods to Arrow as well, takes a look at Scott and Dwayne for a second, narrows his eyes, and then does
the same to him.
Yeah, and goes SPD.
Nods.
Oh, he's good. Oh, I like him already.
You guys have a certain aura. Come on. Main deck's this way, though it's pretty much the same layout as the Gamma, I think. You can come meet the rest of the team. Before we all get pulled into...
We'll follow.
So as you make your way through, again, there's certain people making repairs on the ship. As you're going through the Astro megaship itself, everyone give me a group alertness perception check, please.
Is this for a particular person, or is it just in general?
Just in general, all of you.
Damn. Cryptic, we need you.
Ooh, crit 8.
Maybe not a crit, but I see all. For once.
I am here.
Alertness perception. Yeah.
Conveniently, I literally just upgraded my alertness.
There it is. Alertness. Rolls. Ooh,
nice.
Not bad.
Also,
nice.
Awesome. Yeah, nice. So with that, and adding with Dwayne's crit. Dwayne, you've been around ships to know that there's some damage here. Like some of it may have been cleaned up, but there's like you can all kind of see like the ship's been through the ringer.
Guess you haven't exactly been able to like park anywhere for like to patch up for a while.
No, we haven't. It's been rough. Not without good cause, though. He says this as he comes in. You all make your way. You end up in the main, basically the cockpit area of the Astro megaship. It's a bit more open plan than it is on the Gamma. The Gamma has very strict areas where like certain people are. Like you've got like a comms desk, the pilot desk, the chair and everything else like that. Whereas this is like well, you've all seen it from like that. It's got like the arched consoles in the middle and the ones along the sides. Far more open space.
Cozy.
Yeah. And that after a while you forget how big this place gets. I wanted to bring more chairs up here, but Andrew said no.
It's just the six of you, that makes sense.
So at this point, you as Zane says that, a voice open. You hear a door slide open and a voice comes through, and there's an individual wearing a silver outfit with a black shirt on, and she goes, "Is that?" Said, "If Andros allowed you to bring any form of recreation up here at front, I believe there would be food left over the consoles before we could even blink." Zane. Zane just kind of goes, just kind of like, I'm not that. Izu like laughs and looks around, but sorry, the individual comes up like that. She goes, "Hello, my name's Yizu. I'm Astro Black. Nice to meet you."
Come now, I thought we knew each other better than that.
Well, pleasure to meet another Black Ranger. Dwayne's definitely getting a shake her hand.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks at you, Nova, and she says, she goes, "You know what I mean, Nova."
Come now, I had to have some fun. I'm amongst friends, after all.
Again, another voice then comes up from one of the other corridors. There's two individuals walking up. Well, that we are. So, found yourself in blue as well, I see. The blue Space Ranger walks through. Again, they're all wearing that silver outfit, with the only difference being the turtleneck that they're wearing. That as Edie, the blue Astro Ranger, makes herself known alongside Holly, the pink Astro Ranger. She is also wearing the standard outfit. As Kelly comes over, she runs over and she gives you a hug, Nova.
Good to see you too, Callie.
That after the fall of KO-35, I feared the worst.
Well, you should know me better than that. I was gonna survive no matter what. It was just a matter of finding my way over to meet or to get back with you guys.
Well, we have been pretty busy.
I see that. Been radio silent for what now? Going on almost half a year.
Again, as you say that, they kind of all look sheepish as the last two individuals walk through. Andros, of course, you've seen before. Then you see a young male. He walks through. Comes through, and he comes through. He's kind of like, yeah, well, that wasn't without. Again, that. Yeah, well, we had a good reason. This is Naro, the yellow Astro Ranger, and he's probably the shortest of the lot. But again, they're all very bright, they seem very tight-knit as a family. And Nova, you would know this, but basically, aside from Andros and Zane, Edie, Yizu, and Callie are basically all orphaned individuals raised by the former Black and Pink Astro Rangers before they retired and passed the mantle over. That being Mavi, who was the first blue Space Ranger, and one sec, I know the other one here somewhere.
Isa.
Where is it Isa?
Daaza.
Daza, that's the one, yeah, Daza. Who was the original Pink Space Ranger. They were raised by those two, so they're already a tight-knit family as is. But yeah, he says that without reason. Do any of you respond? Because to the fact that they've mentioned this once or twice now already.
I was about to say, and it's like, so you keep saying, what exactly is the reason?
Andros speaks up. He says, well, it probably won't, it'll probably come up in the debriefing, but we can tell you that you had a run-in with the Psycho Rangers, yes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We did.
Yeah. So did we. Kind of.
I'm a
Okay.
destroyer.
Elaborate on kind of.
About a few months ago, just before we went radio silent, we found some information here on Kelvis. It was a long shot lead, but it was one we took. We originally thought it was information and data pertaining to the upcoming assault on some of the frontier planet by Dark Spectre's forces. We figured if we were able to sneak in, steal the information, and then get it back to the Alliance, we'd have at least one up. Something that we hadn't had for a long time. What we found was not that. Zane kind of.
I assume it's the Flash Man.
No, that was a surprise to us as well. Never seen a Zord like that.
Nova doesn't say anything, but he just gives a smirk.
Something Morphing Masters.
Zane kind of says under his breath, it's just like that. I said, yeah, you can say that again, Ambrose. You kind of get the feeling that it's like they're not really sure how to put into words what they found. So at this point, Callie speaks up and says, maybe it would be easier to just show everyone.
Sure, if you've got a holographic display.
No, it's not a holographic display. It's at this point Andros kind of cuts over and says, he just goes, Callie, not until the commander gets here.
Andros, at this point, I think we're all on after the same thing, so secrets are not a good idea.
We don't intend to keep this a secret, but it would be easier if everyone was here. I've sent a message up through Professor Daxian, and Commander Kruger and some others will be on their way too. All of a sudden you hear, again, one of the doors slides open and Max just walks in. He's like wiping his hands on a cloth. He says, the others being me, damn, you did a number on this ship. And then I don't even think we make half the wires in this thing anymore.
I believe there's a scientific term for that. I can't exactly remember. It's a ship of something, but the name eludes me.
With everything we've got here planet side, we can fix her up good enough for you to get her back to Zybria at least, and then she can get a proper tune-up. But still, you all did good keeping her afloat. That's when Edie throws a hand over Naro's shoulder and says, and she's kind of like, well, when you've got one of the best assistants in the world. And I was like, get off. No one's assistant. I've done half more of the work than you did.
Glad to see you two haven't changed a bit.
It's at that point again, you hear just behind Maxis, indeed, nice to see that you are all in good spirits, Rangers. Commander Kruger walks in. And instantly...
Dwayne straightens up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nova just holds his arm. Commander.
He kind of looks around like, some of the Astral Rangers. None of the Astral Rangers really, like, saluted or anything. But he kind of looks around, of course, at Dwayne and Scott and Marika and the guy goes, at ease.
Dwayne relaxes a bit.
Yeah. So
actually, is Gira gonna be coming?
As Commander Kruger walks in, you see behind being escorted next to Professor Daxian, you see your father Gira. Also behind him is your sister. Taking your sister, although army girl, she is, of course, she is an admiral of the Smilonian fleet, but she's looking at the Astral Megaship with the same amount of awe as she did the Gamma. As they walk through you also see the commander of, I can't remember his name, I have too many notes.
Zybria?
No, not Zybria, the one that was on the ship. Brannon. You see,
is it Brannon or is it his brother?
No, it's Brannon.
Okay.
It's not Denon, it's Brannon.
Because I know one of them hired Dane.
That was Denon. No, it was Brannon. No, that was Brannon. The fleet commander did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dwayne's going to be like kind of glaring at him a little bit. Like,
Brannon looks a bit subdued. And next to him,
thought it was easy to get the dwarves and the hobbits' names mixed up.
Yeah. I've got so many NPC names. It's a good job I label who they are. And you've got you've got Denon, who's also there. And of course you also have Trey of Triforia and Zora.
Oh, hey, real quick before we continue, since I've barely said a peep. This whole time, Scott's been looking like a pent-up tiger, just kind of pacing around, but this isn't really new.
Yeah.
And unusual for him, but just so y'all know, that's what's up.
Marika has also kind of been like, she's there, but she's also like staring into space a lot.
Good to see you again, Trey.
They all kind of nod. They're there. They all kind of nod. Zora also nods. And then Commander, your sister and your father walk over to you, Dwayne, and give you a greeting.
Dwayne will greet him back, Obviously, gifts aside, if she'll take one, but if not,
she does.
Just be a handshake. Yeah,
she does. Well, never a dull moment off planet.
Nope, never indeed.
Commander Kruger straightens up and says, "So, Andros, I believe you have something to tell him." At this point, Zane stands up as well. The jovialness gone from his face, from his body. They all kind of look at us. As you know, we went radio silence about half a year ago. It's for a good reason. It's at this point, Andros presses a few buttons on the console and up pops some images on the holograph. Well, not on the holograph, but on like where the viewport is, or the window. It all kind of pops up there on like holo screens.
So basically, the Star Trek viewing screen.
Yeah. That's also what they did for the Astral Megaship. He says, as you know, we were basically running missions as and when, but we came across some information pertaining towards what we thought was data about upcoming strikes and insurrections into planets beyond Dark Spectre's reach. We initially tried to track down this information and pass it all on to the Alliance, as we did many times before. That you see Commander Kruger nod. However, we found something here on Kelvis at one of the more heavily guarded Machine Empire bases. It was a risky mission. It was... And kind of stops, and Zane goes, downright stupid, if, in all honesty. But we found... Well, we found this. Again, he taps one of there, and you get an image of the current med bay on the Astro megaship of 5 individuals. That, he walks forward, Commander Kruger walks forward as his Professor Dashi and goes, have you found these people in a... Professor Dashi, goes, you found these people in a Machine Empire factory? Well, considering Machine Empire takes prisoners to work there, I don't see how this is any different.
I have a feeling there's a that it's who they are is what was troubling. Get us over at Andros.
Well, that's just it. We don't know who they are. Because we found them not in the main part of the factory, but in what appeared to be a research lab.
Augmentation. For some reason, they felt they work better. They'd be more valuable as machine mutants.
No. Remember earlier? He kind of turns. He says, "Remember earlier we said we kind of had a run-in with the Psycho Rangers."
I get a feeling you're about to explain that to us. Yes.
Yeah. These 5 individuals, I think, were meant to be the Psycho Rangers.
But...
Well, we couldn't leave them there, so we kind of pulled them out. And they've been in a coma ever since.
Are they Zybrians?
So you have 2 of them, sorry, 3 of them are fairly human looking. One of them, he looks not human, but also he kind of looks like mixed breed like that. You're not quite sure from what though. You know, he's all got the telltale signs of that things have been done to him. But 4 of them definitely look more human than the 5th, who is one of like bluish skin.
So more like Eltar, maybe?
That not Eltar blue, but blue all the same.
Can Dwayne make a alertness perception just to see if he can get any more details out of this?
Yeah, 100%.
Now, considering, let me double check something. Oh, okay. Let me see. Now, since this is more of a person, would that be the equivalent for like the influence to come into play on this?
What influence?
They're not from around here. It's like you have a well-developed senses of a natural predator and hunter. It's like gain an upshift to any alertness or survival check. Made to find or track any targeted individuals. So
I'll allow it. Yeah, go on.
$21.
You think you take a look, and not just you. You can see Zora's looking specifically at the one with the blue skin. She looks over to you, Dwayne, and says, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?"
Tell me what you're thinking.
Well, at first glance, I'd say she's Eltarian. But there are some slight differences. Maybe a mix. Maybe a Eltarian father or mother and someone else from a different race? Half Eltarian, half Eltarian, half human? I'm not sure.
That would be a bit weird. Dwayne's actually kind of looking to see if any of them are Blackout.
No, none of them are Blackout.
Ah, okay. Well, at least Blackout's not in this group, so that's a sigh of relief.
Zora looks at it and goes, Blackout? Kind of just like...
Yeah, it's a SPD group, the Wildcards. One of their group is MIA.
So this Professor Daxon goes, this is all well and good that you saved these individuals, Andros, but I'm still not seeing a connection here. At this point, Andros then pulls up another holographic file, and you see 5 individual green data cards pictured. These don't necessarily look too dissimilar to a set of data cards that 5 of you own. In fact, at first glance, you'd swear what they've just put up on the screen is Scott's Zord key.
But like 5 copies of it.
Yeah. Except a lot lighter in color.
Why would they all be the same color?
Well, I mean, Shrek did say about, bringing back up. Maybe they were trying to use something from him.
Wait, you guys have seen something like this before?
Yeah.
Dwayne pulls out his Zord key.
Same.
Huh?
No, that does the same.
With that, Yizu, she looks perplexed. She goes, "Why do you have personality card?"
It'd be better if we all compare notes.
Professor Daxian looks at Yizu and goes, "They are the data keys for the CyberStrike. Did you say personality cards?" And as at this point, Yizu goes, "Yes, these 5 cards." She goes over to the console and she starts typing up and brings up all the data that they've taken, and you can see like readouts of the individuals that are currently in the bay, the med bay, and everything. And it's like, compatibility, everything like that, brain scans, personality readouts. They're personalities were rewritten. Or at least they were going to be. And we found... Well, we found this as well. Naro? Naro nods, and then again, and then like you see a video recording pop up on the thing, and you see the individuals hooked up to this machine, these machines. Well, it's one machine, but they're all kind of like hooked up to different things. Like one of them's inside this chair with like this helmet on. Imagine like a really messed up version of Cerebro from the X-Men. And you see and hear the telltale signs of a certain green individual.
There's Trek.
And as he's narrating to himself that my initial findings seem that the individuals provided would work rather well with the process, although resistance was something that they tried to put up. Once my machine wipes their memories and everything else, I can then reconstruct their personalities, and then digitize them, remake them as you see fit. So at that point, you realize he's talking to someone else in the room, and you hear a very calm yet firm voice as someone steps into frame. A vibrant purple hair, black and silver outfit, carrying a staff. And you're sure that these Psycho Rangers will be as powerful as yourself, Trek? That is at this point, Trek turns around and goes, doubt me if you wish to, astronomer, but remember this, I was Dark Spectre's first soldier to be converted. My mind has no limits. I know everything there is to know. This is my field of expertise. It's at this point, the recording stopped. It's kind of like a cold air now on the bridge of the Astro Megaship.
So I hate to ask, but I'm assuming that you've found those 5 after their personalities got wiped, but before new personalities got uploaded.
We think
Is
so.
That right?
Yeah, Callie comes up and says, we think so, yes. Initial reports and scans say that their memories have been tampered with, but nothing else. We believe shortly after this meeting with this astronomer, Trek was sent elsewhere to try and further this. We had that, and then at some point, we arrived. After that, we went chasing after all the information that we gathered from this, looking to see if we could find not only someone that knew these people, but trying to stop everything that Trek and the astronomer had set up. So at this point, Commander Kruger snaps in. He interrupts and cuts through and says, "And did you?" It's at this point, Zane, in his nonchalant way, in his way, he says that we managed to destroy at least 5 labs that were documented by that, but they were in Dark Spectre's territory. That's why we went radio silent. We couldn't risk being found. Professor Daxian speaks up and says, and these 5 individuals, do they have names, or did you find out where? Anyone? And all the actual rangers kind of shake their heads and says that the names on files, we don't think are their real names, but what we have is Nokria for our blue-skinned individual, Nora, Photon for the large bulky individual, Axe for the fellow with the blue shirt and the reds, Virgil for the rather human-looking one, and simply Yellow for the other girl. And I think you can guess who she was meant to be. Professor Daxian kind of moves forward and I suppose during this time, maybe plans shifted. Maybe Trek was told something else. Perhaps that's why.
Here's a question: those 5 sites that you hit, I don't suppose you kind of kept a record as to where they are?
Well, we did. Again,
if it's possible, can Dwayne do a little bit of correlation? And see if like anything matches up with those sites with any, let's say, that from Daxian's project?
Yeah, sure.
Or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. You're gonna have to make a... Oh god, I've forgotten the skill. Science... What's the space travel one? Oh no, it wouldn't be the space travel one, it'd be...
Astronavigation?
Yeah, it might be astro... Yeah, it might be astro... Yeah.
Which does
So
astronavigation
aren't you
lie
also trying to recount knowledge that you wouldn't know because all that data got scrubbed? And not the only person who would know is Daxian?
Well, I'd be doing it with Daxian's assistant.
Yeah.
Assistants, like...
Yeah, I would say you can.
Where does astronavigation lie under?
Astronavigation lies under science, I believe. Is it science or is it... Oh, I need to pull up...
Looking it up.
The old PDF. PDF. Sorry, my PDF viewer is incredibly slow. Don't know why. This latest update has absolutely balked it.
Science has astrophysics, time-space theory. Alertness has instruments, like on a ship. It also just has time-space. I
guess astronavigation is a separate thing. Give me an alertness instruments check, but I guess for you it would just be alertness.
And since Daxian's helping, that would be with Edge, yes?
Yes. Roll with Edge. Ooh!
We're 18!
Nice,
Well done.
nice.
Speed has aerospace, just for future reference.
What has one, sorry?
Speed has aerospace.
I think that's for when you're
Covers
flying.
for vehicles, extraplanetary journeys.
Yeah, I think that's for like planning and plotting. I think for this one, what we've done is he's trying to correlate to a map. So you do the same. You request for Professor Action to come over. You try to match it up as best you can. Like you do all this. Some of the sites that come up. These are not named planets. They're all like moons and things where you can hide stuff.
Also, like, what was it? Where was the planet that we found Orchid on initially?
It was just a desert
I
planet.
didn't. Orchid found you.
Orchid. Yeah, you found Orchid.
yeah, but
Orchid found
basically
you.
that particular location. But yes.
Yeah. So the black site. So basically, that planet was the original black site of Professor Oren. It was an old SPD/Alliance base, if my memory serves.
I think so. Yeah.
No, that was just a random planet.
Correct. It was just a random planet. It was not.
Orchid made their way to that planet.
Yes, you did. It's been a long time. It's been more than 2 years since that episode.
It has.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, that was just a random planet. If you want the black site, the original black site, Professor Daxon can give it to you, but then the black site that Professor Oren was at, Professor Daxon wouldn't have any knowledge of.
What about the info from the Alpha 5 unit?
It's
the
still,
Alpha unit, sorry.
Yeah, it's still fragmented. There's not a location there.
The only person who might know, Out Cold.
Yeah.
The only person near you that's like that. The other person is a crazy cyborg psycho lady.
True.
Yeah, you match it all up. It comes up like that. You've got the planet where Orchid found you. You've got Professor Daxion's original SPD black site research facility. They don't really correlate to anything. All 5 of these sites are in enemy territory. The closest one you think was close to the prison planet where you first met Trek. There was one there, and then there was the one thing you notice about all these drop sites is that they're all very close to jump to and from. If you were doing, like the transport stuff like that, they're all very easily accessible in a line.
Twitch, I have a stupid question.
There are no stupid questions.
So we have like the, I guess, planets or locations or whatever that we have to set up the shield, right?
Oh yeah, no, the shield is stretches. It depends on the satellite thing.
Yeah, but I know there were specific locations that they wanted us to go to place those, right?
Yeah, KO35 was one of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still have
no, not KO35. Kelvis was one of them.
Kelvis was one of them. Yeah, there was 3. There were, if memory serves, there was 3. There was Kelvis. The wildcards went to another one, and then there was another one that you needed in the frontier there to lock it in. Any Alliance of Evil forces trapped behind can get mopped up and swept up in all of it. Thing. It's not like a continuous shield barrier. That a lot of the generals were just like, oh yeah, this would be a great idea to do that, because the Smolodians were just like, that is physically impossible. But what we can do is create a blockade utilizing the shields in the mass, within the areas that we're in, and patrol between each one quite easily. Which makes a lot more sense science-wise.
Because my brain was gravitating towards, why don't I just put those spots in the map and see what happens? But that's probably not gonna help the situation.
No, it's not related. The 5 sites that the Astral Rangers have destroyed were that, again, like one of the 5th one being the closest to the prison planet you found Trek when you first met Trek. So from that, Dwayne, you can surmise that these 5 sites that the Astral Rangers have destroyed, Trek had a hand in setting up, which is probably why.
And they've been silent for half a year, so that's at least a month per site.
Yeah, something like that. Which is when, like, you also get the feeling that's why Trek has been a bit annoyed at the fact that he's somehow taking orders from the Machine Empire now. Ever since, you beat him on that prison planet, Yeah, it's at this point, as you've done that, Zane comes up and goes, wait, this planet here, you've been here? He's pointing to the prison planet, so that wasn't that the
we
planet
fought Trek over there.
That's where we met him the first time.
He turns back to Andros and says, wasn't that one of the planets that were in the data banks of the 5th site we destroyed? To which Andros then nods and goes, yeah, I think it was.
Oh, Trek used that as his personal little prison planet.
He was messing with the supersonic powers. He was trying to make, evil supersonic rangers? Or he was trying to use the supersonic powers to, what I'm going to assume at this point is use it for make some sort of proto-psycho rangers.
Yeah, he did. He has tried to make more of himself in a way. We did see some of his experiments. I think, if I remember rightly, he's actually killed a Green Ranger for it as well.
And we stopped him, and Scott got a new power.
Dwayne's gonna look over at Scott. You okay?
Marika just, motions to him.
I'll let you know as soon as I've punched him in the face enough times.
You notice the yellow Ash Ranger, Scott, has been kind of giving you a side glance every now and then. He's not very.
I'll roll insight.
Yeah, sure.
As soon as my freaking character sheet comes back up.
Remind me what's the equivalent of insight?
It's a specialization of alertness.
Yes, it is. Here we go. Yeah, you can roll that. Yeah. Alertness insight. Look at that. He's looking at you. Not with distrust, but kind of just he's seen you before. And he's trying to place 2 and 2 together.
Have I seen him before?
No. This is the first time you've met the Astral Rangers. You don't know many Korovians.
Okay, well, I'll file that for now.
At this point, Marika is just gonna say, well, at some point between when this previous project failed and, well, obviously now we know what Psycho Rangers we've got, something must have happened.
Well, I mean, considering that he's lost 5, test subjects, sorry, not to belittle those 5, but if he lost those 5, he's had to scramble for something else.
And I believe that something else was Kasich. Commander Kruger turns around and looks at Professor Daxi and says, that, what are you thinking, Professor? The timing of all this fits in with the Astral Rangers going dark, the appearance and aggression of Rito Revolto, Machine Empire scrambling to create blockades along the trade route, and now this supposed Princess of Evil, Stronum. It all points to something that I've had on my mind for quite some time.
What's that?
I do believe the Astro Rangers were not the only ones operating behind enemy line. I believe there may be some resistance going on in Dark Spectre's territory. Not only that, I believe there may be some infighting between his generals. After all, that battle with the Psycho Ring. Essex seemed to be the one in control. She seemed to be the one gloating at her creation, and it made Trek... Well, it made him...
lose his shit.
In more eloquent words, yes, but yes. I wonder if you saving these 5 individuals forced Dark Spectre to reveal more of his hand than he originally planned. Because for all intents and purposes, I thought Essex was, well, no longer around. The appearance of Doc Honda here, and the sudden uptake of all of the machine generals, I believe that we've forced their hand, which can mean that perhaps our victory here on Kelvis has caused more of a setback than we thought. Commander Kruger tries to process a lot of what Professor Daxian just said. He says, if that's true, then we may be in a far more fortunate position than we first realized.
We can't get too lofty, though.
Callie speaks up and says, yeah, he's right. Your name, sorry, I didn't.
Dwayne Caruso.
Dwayne's right. We can't rest on our laurels, as I say, but also, well, as much as we'd love to keep fighting, the Astro Megaship needs repairs. It's gonna be out for as long as we can get it fixed. Especially until we can get it back to Zybria. Maxis speaks up at that point and says that until we can get half the guys here transferred off planet, there's not many people that know how to work on this ship. I'm definitely gonna have to be transferred off, Commander. So at this point, going again like that. The yellow Astral Ranger, Naro, snaps his fingers and then points at you, Scott, and goes, "You look like Trek."
Face palms.
You know how, like half the time in the classic X-Men cartoon, like when Wolverine looked like he was just about to lunge at somebody, but he knew he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
That's what's happening now.
At that. Is at this point.
Dwayne is going to get in front of him and be like, "Yes, we know. Trust me, I've actually made that kind of plan once already. Like maybe we could do it, but no. We know. They're not the same."
Yeah. Naro, because he's quite young. You get the he is like on the younger side. Like that. He's probably just a little bit younger than Nova. But Zane comes over and kind of like claps him on the shoulder and just goes, "Dude, not cool."
Nova, by the way, when he said that, is just face palmed. It's like, oh god damn it.
Professor Daxian looks at Scott sympathetically and then turns to Naro and says, "Naro, my boy, there is a reason for that, but it is not our story to tell. But trust me, Scott has no relation to Trek in any way, shape, or form. In fact, Scott's presence on the battlefield seems to infuriate Trek and make him, it impedes his ability to fight, which is a great boon for us, has been. but a word of advice in the future: have a little bit more tact that way. Yeah, and like Nara's kind of like scratching the back of his head, and he kind of looks at you, Scott, and it's like, he's like, sorry. That's kind of like
nods and goes back to where he was.
So that's kind of like that sheepish look, as if to say, yeah, I probably should have kept my mouth shut there. So that Callie kind of speaks up, and then Callie does speak up and goes, "Look, it is kind of strange to see a Zybrian operating with outside of the Zybrian force. You don't see many."
You're right. You don't.
Commander Kruger speaks up and says like that. Agent Scott has been working with SPD for a few years. He's one of my better fighters. Him and Caruso operated many missions in a two-man cell. Had they joined a bit earlier, they may have even been part of the wild cards.
Speaking of, any update on them?
We received communications from the planet, from the fleet where they were. They've taken the planet, and the Smilodian satellites are already in position there. It seems this battle caused fluctuation in their communications. All 3 planets have been retaken. A major victory for us, to be sure. Now, I do believe there is something else that we need to talk about. And it's at this point, Commander Kruger kind of looks at Commander Brannon. Commander Brannon, I believe you have something to say. Commander Brannon steps up and says, I would be remiss if I do not extend my apologies to you, Professor Daxian, and your team. I was assured that he would complete his mission and not go rogue, and I fully take responsibility. And it's at this point, Denon explodes, says, "You hired a known mercenary! You put the entire fleet of Kelvis and the base at risk, and now who knows what information him and his mercenary crooks have taken from this planet." And Max just kind of goes over and kind of like he's kind of like holding Denon back. It looks like Denon's about to like literally tear Brannon a new one. And Brannon's kind of just, he's still there, and he, like in the rebuttal, he's just like, we were low on supplies. There was no men. I did what I had to do to try and keep us safe. The two of them now are just arguing on the bridge, with all of you just kind of looking.
Dwayne's actually going to look at like both his father and, Kruger and be like, which one of you is going to sort these two out?
Gira kind of looks at you and just like, Gira's kind of like, well, they're not my men.
Looks to Kruger.
Kruger then, in that voice that he's famous for, enough! Almost like a bark, like a very aggressive growl / bark. Both of them like that. He says, "That, Commander Denon, you have every right to be upset, as do I. However, you will conduct yourself accordingly. is there any chance, Commander Brannan, that Dane made it off with any sensitive information, both from your fleet, this base, and anything else on this planet? Blessed Action chimes in. Rangers, Dane engaged you and Zora just before the black site, correct? Was it after?
It was during one of the medical transports that we were trying to save.
That's the one.
He was actually trying to get information on the Gamma.
As you say that, Dwayne, a voice chimes in. Information that he did not get.
Nor would he be able to.
Two of the Astral Rangers kind of look around and go like that and goes, that wasn't like that. And Zane goes, that wasn't Decker.
Ah, Glyph, I'd wondered when you'd actually chime in.
Guys, meet Glyph. He's basically our Deca.
A pleasure to meet you, Astral. If it is pertinent to your current meeting, one of Dane's mercenaries snuck aboard the Gamma, or attempted to, and download sensitive information. He was unsuccessful. However, their ship's trajectory then went to a nearby Machine Empire checkpoint. I'm not sure what information that they kept at these checkpoints, but many people may be, I believe some of the forces here that's a... I can hear you, dog.
Cryptic.
Cryptic back up once the dog is stopped. What was I saying? I don't know.
Dane and men went to a Machine Empire outpost, basically.
Yeah, Glyph relays that. I realized I was saying that in Glyph's voice as well. But yeah. Maxis chimes in and says, those checkpoints? Cargo manifest, prisoner transport. And as he says prisoner transport, his eyes go wide.
Got something?
That. What if he came here to recruit? I know for a fact that it wasn't just Kelvis in people that were in the cities here on Kelvis that were taken. Some of them may have been shipped off planet, but I also know that there were prisoners shipped to the planet. What if he was looking for someone?
That does fit his particular MO. I mean, he has a reputation as a bounty hunter.
Commander Kruger speaks up and says that it would fit Dane's MO. Question is, who would he be looking for here? And what will he do with whatever information he's had? Gira speaks up, says that I don't think anything good, Kruger. Still, I think this information that we've gotten now has put us on a good stead foot forward. Our victory here and on the other two subsequent planets means that my people and our engineers can set up the necessary shield arrays, start transporting the necessary cargo between planets again. And of course, any of Dark Spectre's forces caught behind the shield, well, they can be mopped up quite easily. Your sister chimes in and says that I already have the fleets ready to go.
There is also another person, well, someone in play as well, and we haven't heard much from them. Guile.
True, we haven't heard anything since he fled from Smilodia.
Think he'd be dumb enough to try to do something now?
If not, he's fled to the deeper parts of Dark Spectre's territory, or he's been taken and... Well, I best not bet thinking about that. Thank you, Astral Rangers, for this information. I assume that you're willing to take the 5 individuals to Zybria? Andros nods and says that it was going to be our next port of call, so that we can get our bearings and contact the refugees and the commander from KO-35, and also check in with Marvi and Daza.
Do we know that name?
Marvi and Daza? Yeah, they were the former blue and pink. Blue and pink Astral Rangers before passing on the powers.
Okay.
And the adoptive parents of Yizu, Edie, Naru, and Kelly. Edie speaks up then. She's been quite silent throughout the whole thing, running diagnostics and everything. The blue Astral Ranger, she speaks up and goes, oh, they're gonna be so mad.
I mean, you haven't spoken to them in as long as you've spoken to us, so yeah. Good luck.
Good reason they're gonna take our morphers.
I don't think your moms are gonna go that far.
That you hear a rare chuckle from Commander Kruger. Very well, that I said that I have to agree with Nova there. However, yes, you will have to answer to the commanders from KO-35. If that is
With all
all
due respect, Commander, I think that I would be more scared of them than I ever would be of you.
You forget, Nova. I've worked with Marvi and Daza before.
So you know exactly why.
If that's all, I believe we should be making arrangements to head back to the fleet. Commander Brannan, effective immediately, you are being reassigned. You will accompany me to my ship, and it is there that until you are reassigned to a different ship further back. Your intentions, while well intended, have caused a data breach that I cannot overlook. As such, you will be stripped of your rank of commander. Like, you see Brannan kind of like, he kind of saw it coming, but he's also like, damn. He's a bit like,
right in front of everyone.
Kruger doesn't mess around, you know that.
Yeah, I do.
Commander Denon, as of now, you have control of both Kelvis Base and Kelvis Fleet. And that Denon gives Commander Kruger a salute. That Rangers, Professor. Commander Gira, Admiral. Oh, is it Keeley? Oh, that's the advisor. Why did I write so many names?
Names.
Notes, ideas, stories, Wayne. Wrong one. Wayne NPC. There we go. Healer. Yeah, healer. So yeah, Commander Kruger looks and goes, Commander Kira, Commander Kira, Admiral Keeler, if you would like to join me at that, of course. Your father looks at you, Dwayne. Puts his hand on your shoulder and says, I will see you soon.
Likewise.
Your sister gives you a curt nod, and they leave. Maxis kind of like stretches and goes, like kind of cracks his neck. Well, I guess I gotta get back to just trying to figure out what I can fix here. I guess I'll be coming back to Zybril with you. It'll be nice to get off this frosty hell zone. I suppose you'll all be shipping out soon. Professor Daxian kind of looks to Maxis and says, once Orchid awakens from her current state, yes, we will be leaving. If I don't see that, if I'm not going to see you before then. He comes over to you, Nova, and he just like kind of grabs you and gives you like a big hug. And then he says to you, not just that only you can hear, he goes, folks would be proud of you, kid.
Thank you, Maxius.
So am I. And if you ever like that, he goes, if you ever find out how that Zord ever got completed, let me know.
Oh, I'm.
Because I know I didn't.
You will be the first to know, honestly. Because I'm still trying to figure that out myself. She runs like a champ, though. Exactly. Like, it was like driving out of a dream.
He kind of gives everyone else a nod. And then you are left on the bridge with Zora, Trays of Triforia, the Trays of Triforia, and the Astral Rangers. We cut away
Trace
from this...
Gutronata of Triforia.
Yeah, Trace of Gutronata. We cut away from this scene now, and we head back into this void that we found our dear Orchid in. Orchid, you've been walking along with the Pink Morphin Master now for a while. All the while she's been talking to you and asking you questions about your your supposed programming and everything else. All the while asking you questions such as, do you believe it is your programming, or did you choose to do that?
You'd be getting lots of just replies of originally one thing, now not so much.
As you
just more and more questions.
Yeah. That. And every question that you have asked, the Pink Morphin Master has answered, and then asked, and then and then after the answer has asked you a question. And that's kind of how the bounce back has been going, all in all. And as you reach the end of like that, she kind of stops and stands in front of you and says, she goes, so, do you believe you have found more beyond your purpose, your program?
I have learned my program does not define the actions I take.
Every action you have taken since you have stepped into this world has not been because of programming or because that is what you were made to do. It is because what you have thought, that is because you feel that it is right for you, correct?
I think so.
You think? Or you know?
I do not know how I feel. I just know that I feel.
I think you cut out there.
I do not know how I feel. I just know I feel.
Well, that is a good start. Knowing that you feel. And being confronted with those who you would consider your brothers and sisters. And a trusted friend. Would not have been easy.
I also know what I need to do when it comes to them.
And what is that?
I need to save them.
Okay,
That might not be... Yeah.
Make me a grid sensitivity check. In fact, let me split the scene here. 1 sec. Hey, oh wow. Okay. Before I split the scene, okay. As you say to save them, all of a sudden there's like you sense a burst of grid energy emanating from just behind you. Although you've been walking, the statues of the Alpha Sentinels and the Psycho Rangers have, like, you turn around, it's almost as if you haven't walked anywhere at all. And now you can see the side image of the Psycho Ranger side kind of melt away. And you see the images of the Alpha Sentinels as they were meant to be. With kind of like some distorted shapes behind them that kind of almost look similar to your Ranger form. But you can't quite make those out. And as soon as that happens, the statues dissipate. They're kind of like a small sounding of glass shattering, and from the designated colors, so yellow, blue, red, and black, the Morphing Masters, so the black Morphing Master, the blue Morphing Master, the red Morphing Master, and the yellow Morphing Master appear. They kind of look at the pink Morphin Master and say, the red Morphin Master goes, "It is nearly time." The pink Morphin Master kind of nods and says, "That I'm aware, yes." She turns to you, Orchid. Orchid, you have my trust, as well as the trust of the other Morphing Master. As does your team. As mismatched as you all are, you are intended for greater things. All of you. And these memories that you have repressed, worry not. I get the feeling that you will find your way soon enough. However, I can say no more. So, if there is anything else you wish to ask of us, do so now.
If I'll find my way, I will find my way. Thank you.
The red Morphin Master looks at you, Orchid, and says, is that you are unique within the grid, Orchid. That does not make you any more or any less than one of our creation. I trust you, as do my colleagues? That is not a word that they would use like that. As do my comrades. Now we must go. The Morphin Masters create a circle around you, Orchid, and they raise their staves. Until we meet again. And there's like this bright flashing light, and you, Orchid, kind of like regain consciousness as you kind of like shoot up and sit up in the med bay. At this time, guys, could you make me a group grid sensitivity roll, please?
Oh boy.
Right? It's also a crit. 17.
Yeah, it's a crit 10 for me.
Crit 12 for Arrow. Whoa. Okay, yeah. So with 3 crits, with 3 crits there, this group like that, the 5 of you suddenly you all kind of like involuntarily, all your heads snap towards the direction of the gamma.
Like, I was the only one that felt that, right?
Just beeline it to Orchid.
I think our Pink Rangers are woken up. Well, excuse us, and Dwayne's going to follow out.
It's as this has happened, like as that happens, like you hear that Professor Daxian's like, oh, like, and he's like moving as fast as he can. Glyph's voice comes over the ship again. I believe that Orchid has awoken from her state, Rangers. I would advise you to head back to the Gamma post haste.
Already halfway there. 3/4 there.
Noah's the last one to leave, but before he does, he looks over at the Astro Rangers. Till we meet again, guys.
They all kind of nod and wave. doing a narrow, like, actually you heard Zane going and just saying, it's just like, am I the only one like that? Like, am I the only one who kind of wants to go over there and see it? Because I've never seen these Alpha Sentinel things before. And at that point,
you can come look if you want.
Astro Black kind of yeah, Yizu kind of just slaps him on the arm and says, "No, you've got work to do." You all make your way as fast as you can to the Gamma, and the scene you come into is Orchid. You are sat up on the bed, armed with all this and that. One thing that you feel is different. How would I do this? Make me a technology roll, please. Science, technology, either or.
Just raw?
Just raw, or if you've got, what specializations have you got again?
I got advanced engineering, which is me. Technology related to me.
Yes, that one. Yeah, that's not there. You get the sense that some of the data extracted from the Alpha 5 unit is a little clearer now in your memory. It's almost like data from that unit and memories of your own memories have kind of like intermingled, lending strength to what the Pink Morphin Master's saying is that perhaps maybe you shut out, some of these memories have been shut out subconsciously. The scene, and that is the scene that you guys come upon. Some of the text looking at Orchid, checking her over. Professor Daxian is the first one into the room and sees you sitting there, Orchid.
Welcome back. I assume whatever you were doing is done?
He lets out a long breath. Oh, my dear girl. And he runs over and he just hugs you. I believe it is us who should be saying, like, welcome back to you.
Then a hug back.
You had me scared there, Orchid. Oh. How are you feeling? Everything all right?
All right is a subjective term. I am here.
Heather, you guys, obviously you know there's been a big burst of grid energy. Professor Daxian kind of like sits there and says, what happened? Did you shut down? I'm at a loss. All of the diagnostics that we had you on that says that for all intents and purposes you were fine, but you weren't here. I don't really know how to describe it. An anomaly in my brain. Everything I know science-wise, couldn't explain it even if I worked for 100 years. He's just rambling at this point. He's trying to figure out like what happened to you like that. It's very much concerned. He basically tried everything he knew and it couldn't come up with a reason as to why you were fine, but you weren't.
Would you like a hypothesis, or would you like an answer that will frustrate you?
Daxian just says, both. Both?
Okay, the frustrating answer first. I met the Wolfing Nesters again. It makes sense.
Oh, you had like what me and Scott had.
I would approximate so. Though I ended up meeting all of the Wolfing Nesters.
All of them?
In the last moments, I was surrounded by all of them.
Oh, what did they say?
They said I am not a creation of theirs. They said that you are the reason why I am here. And they said that because of you and the vaccine you took, I had the opportunity. They also said they trusted us to do the right thing. And we are meant for something greater. But I believe that may just be we will have bigger and harder challenges we must overcome. And it is something that we will do together. I also spoke a lot in depth with the pink Wolfing Nester.
Yes, she said that.
And I realized how much that I know, how much that I don't know, and how much I can even possibly understand. So I believe I can relate to your feeling about your understanding of the grid. But to myself.
Well, that amount of information would make any normal person, or it would make anyone pass out, I guess.
My hypothesis on what happened when faced with the return of Tactics and the others, I had an overload, not quite purely of data, but fragmentation and not being able to understand it that put me into a state so I could process it. During this, the Wolfing Nesters, specifically the pink Wolfing Nester, first appeared and talked it through with me. Helped to give perspective as someone who has been around since the beginning and before the beginning, but also hasn't been here.
Not like when Wayne and Scott met the emissary. Right. Well, I am glad that you are back. We had the debrief with the Ashdoor Rangers and everything. We will fill you in as best we can. I believe we will be leaving Kelvis soon, Rangers. So any final bits of business you wish to take care of, you should do it now. Zora and Trey have been lurking behind as President Action says this, and they step forward. Trey, one of the Treys, steps forward and says, Well, I do believe then that this may be goodbye. We've received reports that the wreckage of Pyramidas has been recovered and is being transported back to Triporia as we speak. One of the other trays steps forward, comes forward. Once we're back home, we can take time to heal and rejoin as one, so that the powers can be retransferred back to me. And then Zora, I believe she has every intent of returning to Elta. So at this point, Zora steps forward and nods. Yes. I will transfer the power back to Trey once all is said and done, and then I will report back to the Guardians on Elta and hopefully the High Council. They need to understand and know how difficult and how strong of a presence Dark Spectre has in other parts of space. I'm hoping I can at least try to convince them to work with the Alliance more. It was...
Well, you got a spot on the ship and a bunk bed if you need one.
Very kind of you, Dwayne. It was
Can
an
I
honor.
observe
Yeah,
Zora? I want to observe Zora. Well, more specifically, her connection to the grid and the gold power and the talk of them transferring the power.
Yeah?
It's just piquing lots of things.
In what context?
Just general, I've just been confronted by all the morphing masters. We have hypothetically known that each of us in the main team has a morphing master, right?
Yeah.
And I've just seen them all.
Yeah.
But here's a gold ranger.
Yeah.
So my Orchid is straight up just being, if what they told me in me being unique and not part of their creation.
No, they said.
Well, no, that's Orchid's line of thinking.
Yeah.
Is so they got involved, but I'm unique, right? And I wasn't by their design. So
No.
I understand that, but Orchid's line of thinking is, I am not by their design, but I also didn't see a gold emissary. Well, not a gold emissary, a gold morphing master. Now, maybe they just didn't appear because there isn't one of part of our group, but it's, it's...
Yeah.
That line of thought.
What are you trying to gain out of it?
Anything you want to tell me, but that's just my line of thought and what I'm looking at.
Roll alertness, grid sensitivity. With the crits today, guys, bloody hell.
Coming back with a vengeance, man.
Yeah.
You can tell me as little or as much as you want on nothing at all, but that's just Orchid's headspace.
On an 11 crit, you're looking at Orchid, and you can see obviously you can see the glow of gold energy circulating around her. You can see a little bit of that in Trey as well. Although the Morphing Masters said to you, you are not of their creation, they obviously, the Pink Morphing Master gave the grid the shove it needed to, infuse you with the power.
Pink,
the Pink Morphing Master.
They do be my mom, essentially.
Yeah. there's nothing saying that there isn't the gold morphing master. There's nothing saying that there isn't a gold emissary. It's not something that you know. It's not something that anyone really knows. The only ones who know that would be the cosmic beings themselves. You just kind of see the energy for what it is that it is energy, and energy can flow and energy can transfer. Because at its core, the grid is raw energy. It is... Certain areas of it are unique, such as the white side of the spectrum. You've seen that before, working with the alien rangers when you saw Delphine morph. That is something that you've all seen, but for you in particular, Orchid, it is something that is, in this moment, come back to you to saying, well, Delphine's energy was a little different. You've also seen it when Scott morphed into the supersonic form. Or when Scott morphs generically. The green side of the spectrum is also, it holds a little bit of chaos in it. But all part of the same well of energy. So scientifically, energy can be transferred. So why not apply that same logic here?
Just being an inquisitive little orchid.
Yeah, you gain a story point for that. Was a good that was a good question.
Shall you have to part ways?
Kind of tilt my head and look at Zara.
But I'm sure you will be off to do amazing things.
Zora smiles at you, and she nods. It was an honor to fight beside you. My time as a ranger may be short, but it has opened my eyes that I do not believe Eltar can stand idly by anymore. Of course, I do not know if I will be able to convince the council, but one step at a time.
I have a question for you that was asked of Lee.
Kind of looks a bit shocked. And
if you don't have the power anymore once it is transferred, would you still do it?
Would I still do what?
What you feel like you were meant to do? With the power, without the power?
She looks at you for a second. She says, I will do what is right, or what I feel is right. What I feel is right is helping fight against Dark Spectre. Be that as a guardian of Eltar, or as a member of this alliance. Powers or no.
Then from what I have seen, what I am starting to understand, even if or when you do transfer the powers back to Trey, the good is not done with you yet.
She smiles.
Maybe put.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dwayne's going to say, who knows, maybe Daxian will make a gold CyberStrike morpher.
Daxian kind of like, he kind of looks at you, Dwayne, and goes, I have no more morphers to give, Dwayne. It was hard enough getting your five morphers back. Well, if this is to be goodbye, then I wish you safe and fair journeys. And Zora and Trey make their way off the Gamma.
One of the morphing masters is gonna stick it underneath Daxian's pill like the Tooth Fairy. I know it.
Please don't try to
The morphing
manifest things,
masters
Arrow.
won't help us. The morphing masters will only help us to the extent that we can help ourselves. We should not rely on them beyond that.
He was making a joke, Orchid.
Oh.
That's okay. We'll get you up to speed.
Okay.
Marika just kind of like how you would like ruffle somebody's hair, but just kind of like ruffle Orchid's head plate.
Quick side hug from Arrow.
Oh no, there's loose wires.
Well then, Rangers. Believe we have our next mission. Let us plot course and leave Pelvis behind.
I think there is something that we may have missed, but kind of thinking. Oh yes, the energy signature.
What energy signature? Remind me.
Of the anti-grid mineral, it matched up to another particular energy signature, but it was like the inverse of it.
Yeah, no, I haven't missed that. That is your next mission.
Ah, okay.
That falls into it. No, I haven't forgotten about that.
Okay.
So you start to prepare the ship for takeoff. Flies are loaded on. You say your goodbyes. And the Gamma is pulled out of the bay of the hangar. Just enough. And just like that, you leave the planet's surface into the upper atmosphere and into space. You see the fleet, Calvis fleet, surrounded by many other ships that belong to the Alliance, and this Malodian fleet, now a part of the greater fleet of the Alliance. And you make your way. The ship's glyph sets the course, and you travel to FTL speed. Please, one of you whoever is sat at navigation for this particular instance, I'll let you choose who it is. Whoever it is, please roll me a science and or technology roll, please.
Who's got what for science and who's got what for technology?
Unless Orchid was told to be there, Orchid's thinking things for
Noah will be there, and he has a 6 for D6 for technology.
I've got a D6 for tech as well.
Can we roll?
So again, I only need one of you to roll, so it's between you all.
You can go for it.
At 22.
A crit 22.
Those crits.
So, Nova, you at the navigation console, sitting down. You see, you've been traveling now at FTL for a few hours since Calvis, and you see it. You see the telltale side. You know, there's not much to see when you're in FTL. All of a sudden, you see an alert just off radar at the side. You're not quite sure what it is though, but it's 100% definitely there, and it's quite big.
He would alert everyone over to come to the bridge and be like, "Hey, we might have something here."
Dwayne gets there, but you know.
Yeah. One of you's already there because one of you would be piloting. Unless you left that to Glyph. But
I was gonna say, like, yeah, either Nova would have been piloting or someone else would have been piloting.
as you to them this into this as everyone else is making their way to the bridge, Nova, this signal it's getting closer. It's gaining on you, in fact.
Shit.
It's reading like a ship.
Gets on the horn again. Hurry up, I think the ship.
Rika just bursts through the door. What's going on, Nova?
We got something coming up hard and fast.
Yeah, it's like Dwayne's gonna get on the horn with Sigil and like, Sigil, that's not you, is it?
No, that's Black. I am getting the same reading though.
Any additional confirmations you can make of it?
Not currently, just that it is heading our way fast. And it is heavily armed.
Yeah, Dwayne's gonna like just start booting up like some of the weapons if need be. Just like, oh shit,
Same.
okay.
I was gonna say, does the Gamma have like a red alert sound and all that?
Oh yeah, it has a red alert sound.
Like Nova would flip the switch.
I was still glyphed.
No. That's perfect. That was a perfect.
Is there like a
hit.
rear view screen?
You can bring it up. There's not like a rear like that, but it can be projected on any of the screens.
Yeah, Marika will do that. She'll try to bring up like a rear view of the ship to see what's going on and back.
As you do that, Marika, you get the image of rather intimidating looking ship.
Oh god, it's the Borg.
Oh god, it's Terra.
No.
Oh my god, a giant rock.
No.
It's a Gundam.
Fuck.
Gundam. What you see is if I can find the actual is it in here? Is it in this book? I don't think so.
Is it fish shaped?
No, it is not fish shaped. It's rather what's the description? What's the in this?
So it's not pyramid shape, so it's not a Smilonian, is it?
No. Oh, they don't have a picture in this one. Wait, let me Google.
It's not a dinosaur or that has a castle on it, is it?
Nope.
Props if you get that reference. Cryptic, shut up. I know you do.
I will place it in the chat, you guys. You get the image.
Oh!
I can't put it up on screen. Stream? It's a very sleek and rather intimidating looking ship. It's got it's kind of jagged and like that. It almost looks like it's it's very sharp. And it's closing fast, and it's locking onto you.
It almost looks like a Michael Bay transformer.
Yeah,
it kind of does.
It kind of looks like Megatron from Transformers.
Yeah.
Michael Bay version.
Where do I put this?
Is that a Reaper from Mass Effect?
No. So for all intents and purposes, for you guys, that is the Psycho Mothership.
It's the ship of our Psycho Mothers?
Do I get any lead pairs from such a psychotic ship?
No.
Then I just responded to the red alert along the bridge line. No understanding.
Yeah, Tom, you are still using the filter for that.
Yep.
There you go.
You see this image coming up, and then all of a sudden the enemy ship basically sends you a communications. Do you accept it?
Better to accept it than not.
As you accept it, the screen comes up, and sitting in a chair, you get the image of Cassix.
Yay.
Hello, Ranger.
What do you want, Cassix?
Did you think your little victory on Kelvis was enough?
Gets in front of Orchid defensively.
Oh, so sweet. However, our battle is far from over, as you are about to find out. If you surrender now, then maybe...
Don't try, we all know you're lying.
Tough talk for Plan B, isn't it?
Well, I can see that communications are there's no point of communication.
Why
Well,
are
another
you
asking you,
here?
though, I'm sure that we're all happy to oblige.
My dear Orchid, I'm here because we are meant to destroy you. Prepare to fire. Farewell.
Why?
Because Dark Spectre commanded.
Why though? Why are you listening to Dark Spectre?
I don't need to explain myself to you. Prepare to fire. Cut communications. Everything cuts down as Glyph.
I want to do my thing to try force the connection back open.
Yeah, sure, you can try. Nope.
There it is.
Okay, as you try to re-establish the connection, the Gamma is suddenly hit by blaster fire.
Well, if everyone is okay with it, I would like to return fire, please.
Wait,
I'm down.
Absolutely.
Yep, Dwayne just starts pressing the buttons.
Yeah. As this happens, you are now currently locked in a dogfight in FTL flight, which is not something anyone recommends. As this happens, when you return fire, you manage to hit one of the engines of the Psycho Mothership during this very quick dogfight in FTL. And as soon as your laser fire hits the Psycho Mothership, one of its blasters hits the Gamma off course as well, and you fall out of. Imagine you're in like a tunnel of FTL, and both ships fall out of it.
Oh, I think I saw this in like one of the Star Trek movies.
I swear to God, if we
thinking the
have
right
to go
thing?
through the devil's anus, I'm gonna kill you, Twitch.
No. Both of you fall out, and you come very close to what looks like a black hole, but it's kind of a yellowish green surrounding it, and it's got you locked now in its pull. Both your ship and the Psycho Mothership are on a beeline to it. The Psycho Mothership reaches this black hole first and is sucked in. And then about 2 minutes afterwards, the Gamma is then also sucked into this black hole. Everything around you starts blaring, alarms, everything like that. It's a rough ride. Everything is like turbulence a lot. You're trying to stabilize everything, and then as fast as that happens, you are spat out somewhere. And there's no sign of the Psycho ship. No sign of it. You can't see it anywhere. It's like that. But you are now on a direct crash course to a nearby planet. Nearby planet that looks like that.
That's a lot of green.
The fourth would have
Since I
been
crit failed and I didn't re-roll, story point, please.
Oh, shit, sorry. I've completely... It's been a while.
That's fine.
The Gamma...
I'm good with us failing anyway.
Yeah, the Gamma crash lands. It enters the upper atmosphere of this planet, and you all have to brace. And the Gamma crash lands on this foresty jungle planet. And that's where the episode ends.
Okay, so Jungle Planet means probably not cowboy.
Exciting.
Yeah.
like the two.
Black holes also have a weird habit of being timey-wimey fucks.
The two places that immediately I come to mind are, like I said, Endor from Star Wars,
Those movies.
And
Or
fucking
Dagobah.
Marinoi.
Dagobah?
Endo and Dagobah are canon. They exist in that universe. But
It
yeah,
does.
that, ladies and
Some
gentlemen,
fuckery I detect.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is episode 60 of Power Rangers CyberStrike, Blackholes and Revelations. Yes, I stole it from Muse. Why?
Use, yeah.
It's a great title. Even though the black hole was like the last bit, but that's what it is.
I was wondering where that was going to come in.
Yeah. I could have just called the episode Revelations because, again, said they would only be 2 hours, but it kind of went further on. Orchid found
Well,
a
you
secret.
told us it might be longer based on our choices.
Yeah. Yes, and based on your choice there. Orchid found a secret, or managed to get a secret
Good
with
job.
that crit during the thing. I know it was a very roleplay heavy episode with kind of thing, but like I said, we're easing back in after everything else. But yeah, we are now moving into the next arc of everything, and the Rangers have been attacked via FTL by the Psycho Rangers, who were lying in wait. They didn't fully retreat. Yes. So I do apologize, Scott. I know there wasn't much for you.
Oh, no,
this
no,
episode.
it's fine. I'm glad I got a moment for a teeny bit of character work, at least.
Yeah. I could be honest, when I was doing the thing with Naro, I was just like, okay, see how Scott responds to this. Is he gonna yes, by the way, that is exactly what I'm talking about, Rosso. The Star Trek thing. That's kind of how it happened. So like when he did the whole like, you look like Trek, I was hoping for a whole sort of just like, how the hell would you know that? Blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, more exposition, here we go.
Trek is my trigger.
Yes. Again, I do apologize for the RP heavy stuff. But it was necessary to set up everything going forward. So,
Next person to
First
tell
song
me
that
I look
popped
like
in my
Trek is
head.
going to get their skull caved in. With any luck, it'll be Trek.
Yeah. Come with me, brother.
Brother!
Oh my god, he is Wesker.
Yeah. So, while we say good night and farewell, and I look for someone to raid, would you, Choco, would you like to say where everyone can find you?
Hello, I'm Chocolate Zombie 101. You can find me all over social media, some form of Chocolate Zombie 101. I stream on Twitch Tuesdays. You'll find me, Draco Magnus, and Royal Hoshi doing our Baldur's Gate 3 Honor mode. The game crashed a lot yesterday, so we didn't get a whole lot in, but we're currently at the Gith Yankee crash.
Aptly named.
Yeah. Wednesdays, you'll find me here for Power Under CyberStrike playing Marika, and later tonight on Wednesday, you'll find me on twitch.tv/Draco Magnus for our Crooked Moon campaign along with Cryptic Cyanogen. And also Thursday night /midnight /Friday, I'll be streaming WWE 2K26 as the new era of that game series commences, testing the game, making sure it's not a hot pile of shit, stuff
Hope for
like
the
that.
best, expect the worst.
Yeah.
And of course, as always, you can find many of us on Multiverse Nexus Wrestling, twitch.tv/Overbosco for Friday Night Flashbang, and twitch.tv/Dr_Caliban for Monday Night Warzone.
Awesome. Cryptic.
You can find. Hi, I'm Cryptic Cyanogen. You can find me at twitch.tv/Cryptic_Cyanogen, and I run the World Domination Wrestlings. We had a 4.5 hour pay-per-view, which culminated in someone being crowned champion.
My character over on that show, yes.
You're welcome.
It was a nice surprise. Yeah, awesome. Deluna, who are you? Where can I find you?
Hello, my name is Deluna13. You can find me on Blue Sky and YouTube at Deluna13. Sometimes on Twitch. Like, I'm actually debating if I want to start streaming again. Because probably during the summer when I'm not doing classes, because I am a college student, so yeah. Wednesdays you'll find me here, and sadly that's the only D&D related thing I'm on right now. So yeah, that's a good session.
Sorry, Roto, who are you? Where can they find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky and YouTube at Rossoryu. That is ROSOHRYU. I do the intros for MNW Warzone. I am playing Arsoy the Undisputed Future on MNW Warzone at twitch.tv/Dr_Caliban on the Mondays. For Cryptic's WDW show, I do play as Debug. I am also the person that does many of the like character portraits and icons that you see happening in the streams for Power Rangers CyberStrike. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Awesome. And Scott, who are you? Where can they find you?
Hey there, I am the internet's Mr. Hardluck. You can find me on twitch.tv/Mr. Hardluck, where I have a tentative schedule set up to actually start streaming again. The newest season of Fallout 76 just hit, and I just got back into playing. So you can look to see if I'm streaming this coming Tuesday morning at, I think I said 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to try doing Tuesdays and Thursdays for that. More / other streams pending. In the meantime, you can check me out in my multiversal wrestling exploits as the classiest man in the multiverse, Scott E. Stevens, aka the Gentleman of MNW, member of the Executive Club over on Friday Night Flashbang on Edward Bosco's channel. Also in my home universe, you can find Scott E. Stevens on Facebook and YouTube, the latter of which has a bunch of my old matches and a couple of my newer ones. Go watch them. They're terrible.
And finally, Dynamo Tom, where can they find you?
You'll find me here next session.
Also, Tom is one of the artists that you can see all the work on the slideshow right now. You can find them all at their socials. It's Dynamo Tom. Go find them. Ask for things, compliment them. And also the other artwork you saw on screen for majority of the episode was by our very own Rosso Ryu. And of course, I am Twitch the Person. I run this game. Sorry if it was a bit choppy coming forth. It has been a couple of months since I've run a session. And again, I do apologize for the RP heavy one, but sometimes that's just how sessions go. I too have a tentative schedule for streaming as I've started my new job, which frees up a lot more of my time. I'm hoping to get into a routine of doing that. You can find everything you need to know about me down below. For my socials, it's Twitch the Person. You can find me on Blue Sky and Twitter. My YouTube is here. If you haven't already, you can go to my YouTube and find the playlist of all the previous episodes of Power Rangers CyberStrike of the campaign so far. But yeah, so who are we gonna read? I've got my friend Drew Nightmare playing Arc Raiders, Zymocyte. I got Sir Elizabeth, another one of my friends. They're playing Resident
I got
Evil.
a friend of of mine and Cryptics and Dylan is over part of the WWW crowd, and also Mystery Enigma Bloody is streaming.
Oh, I've never raided Enigma. What's that? What's that one? Raid Mystery Enigma.
Give me a minute. I'll type it out. I put it in the CyberStrike membership. Yep.
Oh yeah, I've got them on my list as well.
Yep, they're Mr. A.
Oh, I didn't know that. So I have raided Buddy before.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's raid Buddy. Come on. Hash raid. Oh, that's the wrong command. So head on over there. Thank you very much for anyone that's tuned in. If you've been lurking, if you've been active. And until we see you again, take it easy, stay safe, be kind. If you can't be kind, keep it to yourself. And as always, may the power protect you.
And Hail Pigeon.
Hail Pigeon.
Every time. Hail Pigeon. Hail Pigeon. See ya.
Later, everybody.